Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ballchat. Greetings, football lovers. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Championship Sunday episode of Ballchat Podcast. My name is Benton, one of the Ballchat hosts, and football family, sorry for the late start. We're over here celebrating Lille's victory. At least I am. Junior, Wagwan family, how you doing?
You were celebrating Lille's victory, but I'd like some other team. I have a pressure cooker on the fire, and I timed it perfectly so the pressure never burst the pot. That's why I was starting late. I have pressure in some need, but some side can't take the pressure.
Stop, drop words on Napoli and Leicester City football family. Stop, drop words on Napoli and Leicester City football family. Cameroon is away this week as Chelsea lost, but they qualified for the Champions League. Big up yourself, Cameroon, as you go and enjoy your vacation. Football family Ball Chat Podcast, all about reviewing some of the week's major news in the world of football. We have Championship Sunday. We'll dissect the end of the season, recap the EPL, recap Lille's magnificent victory in the French League. Juventus actually qualified for the Champions League as Pirlo probably hold on to his job. We'll have Yard Ballers, quick snippet of Yard Ballers, quick discussion on Yard Footballers. Jamaican Premier League is set to restart June 26th. Football family, if you join us on Flow Sports, if you join us on Ballchat YouTube page, if you join us on Facebook, Ballchat Facebook page, or Instagram, you can join the show. We want to hear your thoughts on the Championship Day games. We also want to hear your thoughts on the season itself. We'll discuss the football as the major competitions in Europe wrap up. But we always start off with Ballers of the Week. Ballers being impressive players, Bugs being unimpressive players. Junior, who you have as a Ball of the Week family?
Yo, I forget to Harry Kane for winning the Golden Boot this season. It's a wrap-up kind of Ball of the Week and Bug of the Week for me this week. But I definitely have to give it to Harry Kane. I have to give it, Manchester United is undefeated away from Old Trafford in the Premier League. That is an accomplishment as well for Ole. I have to give it to Pep for winning the title. I forgive it. We're going to talk about the French league momentarily, but Lille to the world. Is the best, eh?
Lille to the world. Ball of the Week to Lille to the world. So you're giving Harry Kane Golden Boot winner. You're giving Lille to the world Ball of the Week, and Manchester United impressive away record. Imagine that if they did that at home. Impressive away record from Old Trafford as what they went the season undefeated away from Old Trafford. Right, Junior? Yeah, that's absolutely impressive. Football family, if you have ballers and bugs, send them on. My Ball of the Week. Where the reason why we started late is because I was over here celebrating Lille's victory. Lille get the Ball of the Week. Burak Yilmaz, Jonathan David, and Lille, Christopher Gattier, the manager of Lille's outfit. Absolutely impressive. The fact that they won the French league without beating the big bad PSG, who will have more money, so-called better talent. This absolutely is impressive. This is why I love the beautiful game. So Lille gets a Ball of the Week. Burak Yilmaz, when he got to Lille, some thought he was a washed-up player, 30-something Turkish players, and they didn't think that he would be instrumental in this Lille run. But he was deadly down the stretch. Big goals for Lille. So Lille, 4 titles. So we'll celebrate them later on the show. So Ball of the Week for Lille and the impressive season in winning the French league. And I know a lot of people don't really classify the French league as a really competitive league, but I have to give them Ball of the Week. Ball of the Week want to give Ball of the Week to AC Milan. It was getting tight at the end, and they found a way to secure the Champions League spot. Have to give Ball of the Week. It was stressful. They was worried about if they were going to make it. But AC Milan are back to Champions League football, so I have to give them a Ball of the Week for that performance. Welcome back. No one thought AC Milan going the season will make Champions League. Impressive, impressive. Let's get to bugs of the week, family. Who do you got as your bug of the week, Junior?
Why? How can I not give it to Brendan Rodgers and Leicester City? How? How can I? And Juventus as well for giving away the title, as far as I'm concerned. No, they would have never beaten. I don't think they would have beaten Inter this year when it all shaked out. But they had a disappointing year. And I must say this. It's a twist. Because you know at Ballchat, we don't only talk about the big sides, right? I am utterly disappointed in Sheffield. And again, my ball of the week, my ball of bug is for the season. I'm giving Sheffield United bug at the season for having such a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde 2 seasons. Last year, there was a dominant midfield. This year, the midfield coming like a strainer. I have to give it to Sheffield. And, you know, I don't want... Pochettino is my coach, you know. But I sat in this very chair and said a couple months ago, when Pochettino took the PSG job, yes, he won 2. Yes, he have 2 cups. Yes, we know that. But you don't lose the league title. And last year, you lost, your PSG lost in the Champions League, and a new coach come in, and you never make it to the finals this year. Bug, you feel Pochettino. All you had to do was maintain status quo and beat the idiot style Lille. But you make Lille turn you in a sieve, and then you couldn't win Champions League. So bug of the week, bug of the month, bug of the season.
Yeah, Pochettino, Junior giving Pochettino bug of the week, bug of the season. And keeping in that team to bug of the week, bug of the year. Football family, if you have bugs of the week, send them on. Bug of the year, send them on. Everton Football Club. Carlo Ancelotti had aspirations. At least that's what we thought. That was the goal of Carlo Ancelotti. He said that they wanted to make it to Europe, right, Junior?
Yeah.
And look, where is Everton now? Are they in Europe? Are they anywhere in European football? Will they be in European football next year? Not even the conference, this newly fashioned Europa Conference League. Everton made it to. So Everton gets the bug of the week, bug of the year. I thought it was a pathetic display from where they were at the beginning of the season to just a shambolic ending to the season. And Leicester City is just too easy to pick on Leicester City. It is too easy to pick on them. They said don't kick a man while it's down, but Kasper Schmeichel, brother, why are you punching the ball in your own goal? That was horrible. It's bug of the week for Kasper Schmeichel. Wet in the bed at the most critical time. I thought that was just a horrendous mistake. So Leicester City gets a bug from me, but specifically Kasper Schmeichel for that error at that critical moment. Junior, any other unmentioned bugs or ballers that you want to highlight?
Big up to Come On watching, and Come On said, and Come On, I left this baller for you, and I know Benton purposely omitted this baller. But Come On did the honorable thing as a Barcelona fan and is bigging up Luis Suarez. The great Luis Suarez. El Cadibal himself, Luis Suarez. Come On giving him ball of the week. She also want to give an honorable shout out to Harry Kane and Bale. They dragged Chelsea by the seat of their pants. I am indebted to Bale. If he is ever in my neck of the woods, he will get a red stripe. Come on, let me tell you something. Don't give Bale a red stripe. Just buy him some new golf clubs. Also says she's happy for Lille, nail biting, but they held their own. They showed that money cannot win or cannot always win a title. And Prime Minister said, Boggis Leicester, you had one job.
Just one job. Just one job. Let's get to our football roundup. Just one job. And Junior, we don't give ballers to bite on the show, all right? Big up Luis Suarez. Big up yourself. Let's get to our football roundup. And the major upset in European football this week is just this Lille upset. What Lille has accomplished. Junior, talk about this team for a second. Is it what Lille did or what PSG didn't do? 4th title for Lille. They lost one in 2011. Impressive ending to the season. I I can't find the words to really describe what they have accomplished.
You know what is the best thing about this winter is that it's different than Leicester win, right? I'm trying to find a team that won that you never expected to win, and they won in a similar fashion. Lille took the lead when, like 4 or 5 weeks ago,
and they didn't let it go,
right?
Yeah,
and they maintained a slim lead right through. They didn't stutter, they didn't sputter to the end. They got a slim lead and say, you know what? I don't care what PSG is doing. As long as we win, we're not losing the title.
Yeah.
And to me, that is the most impressive thing. And what that showed me is mental toughness. We don't want to call it mental toughness. I want to call it mental ignorance. They're ignorant to what they were up against.
Yeah.
But the man them come out and they did not crack under pressure.
Yeah.
It showed that they really are champions.
Yeah.
You know, normally Neymar hurt and Lille could have a 6 or 7 point lead, and then when the game get tight, when the race get tight, them give up a 90-minute goal. Something could have happened over the last month and a half. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
So hats off to Lille, man. I don't even think it's buck up.
Yeah, hats off to them, and you equate them to Leicester City earlier on when you started your discussion.
No. I cannot equate them to Leicester because what Leicester did. Remember, Leicester just came out like the hair was on fire and just ran away with the league early, right?
Yeah.
I had a big lead.
Yeah.
What Lille did was went into a title race.
Yeah.
Leicester didn't have a title race.
Yeah.
Lille had a title race where every week is a must win. PSG winning.
And last week they drew. They dropped points. They dropped 2 points last week. And you know, interestingly, let's take the final look at the table in the French league before we step over to the EPL. Last week they drew, and interestingly, there's a video the camera heading into the tunnel after the draw, and Burak Yilmaz, the translation, he said to the players, "Don't worry, we will be champions next week. Don't worry, just get up, we will be fine." So there was that worry among some of the Lille fans because PSG was putting the pressure in. But last week, after the drop 2 points, but this week they came out and they totally handled their business. And this is good for the French league, right?
Yeah, but you know, every so often that you have parody or every so often the big team take a little dip. What will happen next year is going to be the telling factor. So I'm worried that Lille might now have a target on their back, and they have to maintain next year.
Yeah, they won't. They won't. I mean, the team is in debt. The owners borrowed a lot of money against the club and put on a lot of debt on the backs of this club. A lot of those players will probably move on. The coach is already being targeted by Nice. Nice already reached out and made an offer to Christophe Gattier, the coach of Lille. So it's a one-hit wonder. They're the champions this year. It's very unlikely that they will replicate this performance, but it's good to see that they were able to see it over the line. As for PSG, what happens to PSG in the summer? Does Mbappe stays with this outfit? And now Pochettino gets a summer to kind of put things together.
No, Mbappe is not staying. They're going to cash in. I mean, why would he stay? If the rumors were circulating from earlier in the season about Mbappe is going to Real Madrid, Mbappe is going to Barca, Mbappe is going to this, Mbappe is going to Liverpool, and you come out without a major trophy, you don't win Champions League, and you didn't win the French league, what is the motivation for Mbappe to stay there? Yeah. So I don't expect him to stay there.
You don't expect him to stay. Yeah, the summer transfer window is going to be very interesting as usual, but big up to Lille. We'll see what happens in the transfer window. Let's step over to the EPL, and Junior, again, Leicester City wet the bed. But
And I told you so.
yes, you did. You corrected. I was on a fairy tale wishing that Leicester City would win. You told me that Leicester City would not win. But look at Leicester City last 5 games: drew, lost, win, lost, lost. How can you want to make Champions League with that running?
Oh, who's telling you that they wanted to make Champions League? I mean, look, you know what?
Brandon Rogers says, quote, I am disappointed if I'm honest. Naturally, we'll have that disappointment, but over 38 games we just fell short. The pride I have in the team, everything that went against them, how we've continued to challenge, working right to the very end. We just didn't quite have enough today. He also said it's been...
Bedad. Sorry, I'm sorry. It was a lot of football on TV. I apologize. What happened? Did Leicester lose out of the Champions League spot on goal difference? did Leicester win them last game? And unfortunately, they were depending on another team for win, and the other team didn't win.
Leicester City just...
Don't it?
Yeah.
Last check, they lost to Tottenham today, what, 4-2, don't it?
Yes, they lost to Tottenham.
So Brendan Rodgers, what the hell are you talking about? I don't care about the last 37 games. Talk about the 38th game. All you had to do was win against a team that is not in the Champions League. So how are you going to come out? Well, you know, we came up short. No, you did not come up short. You are what you are. And I said this for the last couple of weeks, and I said, look, Leicester has the ready-made excuse. Well, you know, we're punching above our weight. We look at all the other teams and the big money that they spent. You know, after the game today, you know, wherever Ranieri is, people need to look at that man and give him the respect. And I'm going to say this. I can make the argument that if Ranieri did not coach Leicester, we would have never have an N'Golo Kante. Because Leicester's team today, I can argue, is more talented than the Leicester team that won the I can make that argument. Leicester today is more talented than the Leicester that won the championship.
Where's the talent?
Huh?
Where's the talent?
Where was the talent in the last one? Because you can't come tell about Mahrez.
Well, I'm telling you about Mahrez. I'm going to tell you about Kante. I tell you about Vardy. I tell you about Captain Morgan was a lot younger. They have old foot Johnny Evans is trying to stitch together that back line. In fact, Brandon Rogers said he's the brains of the defense. They have Christian Fuchs back then. They have Albrighton. What I will say to you is that those players, we didn't know them until Claudio Ranieri made them great. Or they worked together and made great.
Yes. That is my point.
Yes.
And Mahrez don't look like the Mahrez at Leicester. He has never looked like the Mahrez at Leicester, at Man City, around a better team. So Ranieri, wherever he is, give him his ratings. And this little British, there is a British bias, you know. Let me even stop it, man. Just look on Brendan. Say, Brendan, you failed. You failed. It's a failed season.
Junior, all right. But are we expecting too much of Leicester City? Do they have a Champions League squad? Let's. Hold
on. Forget about Leicester City.
Yeah.
Does Liverpool have a healthy Champions League squad right now?
Well, they're in the Champions League.
Does Liverpool have a healthy?
Yes, they have a healthy Champions League squad.
No, they don't. The squad that them have right now, the healthy squad, is not a Champions League squad. So by default, Leicester should have leapfrogged Liverpool. Just by default. When Liverpool fans don't know, bother come, we don't know. It is what it is. Liverpool's healthy roster does not compare to Leicester's healthy roster.
What, today?
Today. Yeah, today.
Nah, come on, Junior. No, come on. That's nonsense. Because Liverpool have the perks of Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, and Bobby Firmino. Thiago Alcantara, them have Gini Wijnaldum, a general. Leicester City is dependent on Old Foot Vardy. They're dependent on Kelechi Iheanacho, who has been on a very good run, but he's been slipping all over the place today. Madison, who's supposed to be a baller, but cannot make the next step. Come on, Junior. I think you're disrespecting Liverpool there.
I'm not disrespecting Liverpool. If odds on, all right, put it this way. Let's switch back to Leicester. Leicester should have never lost to Tottenham today.
Yes, they should have never lost to Tottenham.
If you even draw, even if you want draw, just
Yeah,
draw
yeah.
But you should not have lost 4-2 today. And that is, to me, is inexcusable. Regardless of what your ambitions are, regardless, Tottenham fired their coach mid-season. Fired their coach. The team looked good. They weren't playing good. You are above them. How you lose to them on the final day with more to play for? You have a bigger payday to play for. Tottenham is playing to get into Euro, to try to get to Europa, yes. But Leicester, you are playing for a bigger payday. And you dash it away? Come on, man.
So Leicester City and West Ham moves on to the Europa League. Spurs moves on to the newly constructed European Conference, Europa Conference League, which is pretty much the third tier Bush League. If the Europa League is Bush League, the Conference League is extra Bush League. And of course, yeah.
Better. So Tottenham really jump out of Super League for go Bush League.
So Tottenham definitely in the Europa Conference League. And rounding things out, you have Arsenal and Everton are definitely not in any European football. But 25 years Arsenal have played some form of European football, but that period have ended under Mikel Arteta.
Hey, they can go play money football with the Europa guys.
Overall, your big standout player in the EPL this year, a player that you thought was just a baller and a bug who didn't meet who didn't live up to the expectation.
Obviously, Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz. I mean, and not because he's the champions, and yes, people will say it's an easy pick. Yeah, probably, but it's undeniable what he has done. And on the other hand, Thiago is a big disappointment. Thiago Alcantara, he showed his quality, but his quality didn't mesh with Liverpool. And I think he had the perfect opportunity to help right Liverpool ship, which in the end them qualify for Champions League, and that is good enough because we know they weren't winning the title this year because of all the injuries.
Yeah.
Liverpool fans, again, don't call me down. This is actually a compliment that your team has made the Champions League.
Man, don't worry about Liverpool fans. Them just talk your mind and forget them.
No, but that's something I'll keep it real. Okay, Liverpool fans them can get a 9 sometimes.
And so just to remind football fans, Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea made it to the Champions League next year. Leicester City, West Ham are into the Europa League next year. And Spurs are into the newly constructed Europa Conference League, the Bush League.
Yes, because the BM tries to mention Europa League is not Bush League, the Conference League. Yes, yeah, BM. It's Conference League. It's Conference League. Conference League. Marcus Collins saying Liverpool have 9 lives. Leicester lacks the clutched gene. It is mental now, in their head, hard to overcome. And Benton, take a screenshot of this. Come on, said, we love it. Neymar can go Atletico. But here's the screenshot. Junior is correct.
That's not pertaining to that, Junior. That must be something else. They're talking about Lille OSC.
That's more Leicester. That's more Leicester.
My player of the year. I know Leicester City has failed in the target again to make it the Champions League, but I have to give a ball of the year to Wilfred Ndidi in this Leicester team. If Leicester City embodies the heart of Wilfred Ndidi, if they have 2-3 more Wilfred Ndidi in that central midfield role, I think they would have been fine. Today, he dropped into centre back after another injury. Fofana picked up an injury. So Wilfred Ndidi just doing the dirty work, carrying this team, and he couldn't carry them over the line. So I give him ball of the year for this team. The bug of the year in the EPL for me, Junior, is Everton. And everybody at Everton. Everyone at Everton, especially, well, probably Calvert-Lewin gets a pass, but especially Richarlison. Richarlison did not make the next step as a player that was up and coming. We expected, at least I expected, great things from Richarlison. It seems like he spent the entire year sulking about something. Junior, your thoughts on Richarlison year as a Brazilian fan?
Well, you know, I think Richarlison struggles to play in that system for Everton. He's playing as an out-and-out left winger.
So he's a one-dimensional baller then? He's a one-dimensional baller.
No, I'm not going to say all of that. But I think also, didn't Barcelona come knocking for him earlier this season? That might have affected him as well.
The Barcelona cannot knock for anybody, Junior. They don't have any money.
Earlier this season, I could swear that Richarlison was on their shortlist. I think you're being kind of hard on Richarlison, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because how you Prime Minister saying Richarlison is a fraud? How you go over Richarlison? And how you go over Jaimus Rodriguez and reach Richarlison?
I will give you. Well, I did say everybody a bug at Everton, except with probably a small slice of a pass to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because I thought he did well. He carried that team, scoring a lot of goals. He did his job. Probably should have scored some more, but I thought there was growth. But Jaimus Rodriguez, remember, Jaimus Rodriguez has not lived up to Jaimus Rodriguez's talent wherever he has played, right? Whether it's at Real Madrid, whether it's at Bayern Munich, there was this expectation that no, he's at Everton and he'll be fine, and he's under Carlo Ancelotti, and this is a place that this is a coach that he has done well under in the past, or air quotes well. But the talent that Jaimus Rodriguez has not really ever translated to consistent, good quality play on the field in my assessment. So I did not have lofty expectation for Jaimus Rodriguez at Everton. I have lofty expectation for Richarlison, though.
But how about this, though? How about look at, because the way how I look at it is this. I think, I remember earlier in the season, Everton was, I think they were second. Remember them and Man U were neck to neck when they ran out.
Yeah, they were definitely up there at the run-in at the start. Yeah. After that, remember they had the turn when Richarlison had the horror tackle on Thiago. Yeah, in the derby, yeah.
Yeah, the derby game. The defender, I can't remember, I think the Colombian defender had a brain fart.
Yeah, Yeremina, which is typical for Yeremina.
Yeah. Everton, they put the target on themselves early this season. And with a big name coach as Carlo Ancelotti, they weren't going to sneak up on anybody. When Calvert-Lewin was banging in goals for fun, they weren't going to sneak up on anybody anymore. Nobody were going to say, oh, this is just Everton. People treated Everton like they were a top 4 team early. And Everton did not know how to answer those calls. So you might have a game where Crystal Palace, for argument's sake, might have Everton Saturday and then have Liverpool next week Saturday, and then we'll take a break against Everton planning for Liverpool, when this year them say, no, we have to treat Everton with respect. And I think that affected Everton. They didn't get a chance to sneak up on anybody, and they couldn't handle that pressure. Because we know after the front three with Jaimes, Calvert-Lewin, and Richarlison, the midfield was weak, the defense is leaky, and the goalkeeper, what name? Pickford?
Yeah, Pickford, John Pickford, yeah.
You know Pickford can make the beautiful saves and give up the easiest goals.
Yeah.
So they are a very flawed team. It's just because I and maybe you said, well, this is Carlo Ancelotti. He can make something out of nothing.
Does Carlo Ancelotti stick with the project? Remember, they went out and got Ben Godfrey in the offseason or in one of the transfer windows. He picked up Fabian Allen, a player that was with him in the past. He brought in Jaimus Rodriguez. Does he stay with this project if another big club comes calling?
Which big club will come calling? I mean,
the word is out that Zinedine Zidane may leave. I mean, that might go to Allegri as rumored. We don't know what will happen in Italy in football. We don't know if Gattuso will stay with Napoli. We don't know if Pirlo will stay with Juventus. If some of those clubs may inquire about Carlo, he's committed. You think Carlo is committed to this project?
Both answers are no.
Yeah.
But I don't think clubs going to come calling for Carlo Ancelotti. He didn't have like a great season. And the name brand is that. Look, Jose Mourinho went to Roma.
Yeah.
And I can make the argument that Jose is a bigger name brand. Probably not a better coach, but he's a bigger draw than Carlo Ancelotti. And Jose Mourinho went to Roma. Allegri has been sitting out there in the pastures for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
So the time might have passed for all of these retread coaches, or these coaches that we consider to be big time coaches, and there's a new crop coming. You have the Hans Flick, you have the my boy name, you have the young coaches, and especially in Germany coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think Carlo just enjoy Everton. You're good where you are, and top 10 is good, and just beat Liverpool in the Merseyside derby, and there's no pressure.
So just to remind our listeners, Arsenal finished down in the table. Does before we move away from Everton, does Moises Kean return from his loan deal from PSG, or does he try to stay with PSG? Do you see a place for Moises Kean in this Everton outfit?
He never at Everton? No.
No. Okay.
Where is he going to play?
Where is he? I mean, well, they need depth. They need depth in their striker position, right?
But Moises Kean is not a depth player per se.
Yeah. No, as in support for Calvert-Lewin, just in case. I mean, he's warming the bench at PSG. He's committed.
Yeah. But this is PSG. It's not Everton.
Yeah.
You want me to bench in a Champions League game. You want to bench at Everton at a FA Cup third round replay.
And he would probably play some of those games because ultimately, for Everton, they will have to build some sort of depth in their system, in their squad. Before we move on, someone asked about Leon Bailey earlier.
Yeah, BM is asking. BM is saying, where do you guys think Leon Bailey will play next season?
Does Leon Bailey play in any of these EPL teams next year?
Let's see what happened with Tottenham.
Okay.
Let's see what happened with Tottenham, because if they go through an exodus with Harry Kane, Son is very close behind. There's a space out there on the left wing. But as a Jamaican, I am very proud, and I think Leon Bailey can play with the greatest of the great footballers out there, right? But I question, does the world see Leon Bailey that way? Do we hear people talking about Bailey like we hear them talking about Sancho? I would just talk about wingers now. You look at the wingers, right? I would say Sancho, Rafinha. There's actually two Rafinhas. The one that's in Portugal right now and the one that is playing at Leeds. Right? Where does Leon Bailey fit? Like, he might... I wouldn't be surprised if he stays put, or if he goes to a team that's similar. And if I had to pick a team, the Jamaican bias in me would love to see Leon Bailey play for AC Milan.
AC
Right?
Milan.
Eh?
Really? That came out of left field.
No, but seriously though, but that's the Jamaican bias in me.
Yeah.
But the realist in me though, and this is no disrespect, there's no disrespect, but the realist in me see a West Ham calling Leon Bailey. The realist in me see a Villarreal calling a Leon Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there at the cusp of being at the getting calls from the upper echelon teams, but I don't think he's right there yet. AC Milan is just one of them teams that is an upper echelon team, but they're playing second tier, trying to make that jump. And I honestly can see AC Milan giving him a call.
Yeah. Before we move away from the EPL table, West Ham.
BM says, I wouldn't want Leon Bailey playing in the Conference Bush League with Tottenham.
I agree with you, B. I agree. Arsenal, any other clubs that you want to have quick mention about and their final position in this league? Of course, Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield are gone. Burnley, Brighton, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Newcastle Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds. They live to fight another year. Arsenal, talk about this 25 years absence from Europa League. What needs from European football for Arsenal? What needs to happen with Arsenal in the offseason for them to kind of get this right?
Just trust Arteta.
Just trust our. So Danny Ceballos' loan deal is coming to an end. He'll probably gonna go back to Real Madrid. Real Madrid might be taking offers for him. How does a team with Martin Odegaard, Danny Ceballos, Pierre Aubameyang, Lacazette, Thomas Partey, and the likes end up where they end up?
I think Aubameyang is gone, obviously.
Where do you think Aubameyang? They just gave him a new contract, Junior.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it does. Because now it means that the buyout money is probably large.
But they will eat some.
They already ate the money of Ozil, who just chill around for a few years. Can they afford another eat money again?
Look, listen. And I know some Bailey fans out there one night why I never call Arsenal there. Because of what's Saka, right?
Yeah, Bakary Saka, yeah.
Get rid of Aubameyang and give Saka room to grow. Give him space. Build a team around him. Trust Arteta. And I'm not an Arsenal fan by any stretch of the imagination. But it's a good thing for Arsenal to take a step back because they have been mired in mediocrity for so long, where people thinking that, finishing top 4 is a great accomplishment. It's not. It's a reminder of how close you were to being close to being number 1. And every year you are getting that reminder. You know what the definition of crazy? When you continue to do the same thing over and expect a change.
They're not even finished in top 6 this year.
Doesn't matter. It's good for them to take a step back. Because now, look, you had Ganduzi, you had all of these players, David Luiz, all them little players, William, all them little players that we had running around trying to put a band-aid on a bad situation. No, rip the band-aid off, throw some antibacterial juice on it, and patch it up and start over again. And it's good. Trust Arteta.
So you just want a clean house. Get rid of some other dead weights. And you believe in Arteta. Is that your thing?
I believe in Arteta, yes.
Okay, but get rid of some of these players.
Yeah, man. We did Pepe, Aubameyang, David Luiz, even Lacazette. We get rid of the one of them, man.
Get rid of the one of them. Before continuing our end of season recap on the EPL football family, if you have thoughts and comments, send them on. Junior, Jack Grealish, a player who was outstanding this year. Aston Villa probably lost its way when Grealish went down at the end. Does Aston Villa hold on to Grealish this transfer window?
I think they're going to rule not letting him go last season.
Yeah.
Yes, they're going to let him go, but for little money.
Okay.
It's not going to be nowhere near the high value. And honestly, who like probably not. You know what? Probably not. Because who wants him? Because
You're telling me none of the top clubs, the so-called Big Six or whatever they want to call themselves, cannot find place for Jack Grealish?
Sancho last year was 120 million pounds. This year they're asking for 70 million.
I mean, Aston Villa could use Jack Grealish. Not Aston Villa. Spurs could use Jack Grealish.
All right, but you said Big Six.
they, they were in the Super League, the Super League Big Six.
Well, the Bush League Six.
Yeah,
Bush Six.
so Spurs could use him, or could use him, but I don't.
But will Jack Grealish want to leave to go to Spurs?
Yeah, that's an important question. I wouldn't send my dog to Spurs.
Right. So I don't think Jack Grealish, James Maddison, all of these players, they should have cashed in last year, but no, the teams didn't cash in on them. So now they're going to be stuck. I don't think those players going anywhere because you have better quality players out there that would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Declan Rice. Does Declan Rice stays with West Ham, or does Chelsea?
No, he's not staying at West Ham. Everybody know he's not staying at West Ham.
Where does he end up?
He wants to play for Chelsea. He's a Chelsea fan, and he wants to play for Chelsea.
Okay.
Right? Now, will Chelsea get rid of Jorginho? Which I think they should. But do they value Declan Rice as much as Declan Rice value Chelsea? Because if not, there's a team out there that would love to have Declan Rice.
Don't talk about Manchester United.
I would send Lingard, McTominay, and 20 million pounds and send him as a send on Declan Rice.
So Declan Rice is a huge, but the biggest talk of the EPL season, of the EPL week, is probably Harry Kane doing the interviews. Harry Kane seems like he wants away from Spurs. There are rumors that he will end up at City. Where do you think Harry Kane ends up if he does leave Spurs?
He's
But I mean, Chelsea is desperately in need of a striker, Junior. Chelsea is desperately in need of a striker. Timo Werner is not it. Kai Havertz is not it. And I expect Kai Havertz to probably be it later down the road. But you have the golden boot, the goal poacher right now in the EPL. Why don't you just back up the Brinks truck, go to Tottenham and pillage, get him?
Let me tell you something. Tottenham will not send Harry Kane to an English team.
Tottenham needs the money.
Harry Kane, in my opinion, will be playing in Spain, depending on who is the coach for Real Madrid or Barcelona is going to determine where Harry Kane plays.
He cannot go to Barcelona, Junior. Barcelona has already made a commitment to Sergio Aguero for 2 years plus medical, plus other incentives.
And done. Do you remember when Henry went to Barcelona?
Yeah, but
No. I'm not saying Kane. I'm not saying Harry Kane is Henry by no stretch of the imagination, no farm, nothing like that. But when Henry went to Barcelona, where did Henry play?
yeah, he played on the left side. He drifted on the left side. Yeah.
Harry Kane this year auditioned to all the teams in the world his abilities to play from the midfield. And you going to tell me, say you don't think Tiki Taka Barcelona recognize that?
No, it's a waste of time ball at that.
All right. Back to Allegri go to Real Madrid. Listen to Benzema. Love the work we did for us, but go do road. Harry Kane forward. We have a bag of money to spend. We'll have my boy Hazard. We'll have Giemann and a try. We'll have Vinicius. Bring in your talents right now to the striker. Easily, I am seeing Harry Kane playing in Spain. I am really seeing it. And I think the next coach of Barcelona or Real Madrid is going to determine where Harry Kane plays.
Yeah. Harry Kane. So, but the obvious thing for you is that he's gone at Spurs. Can Tottenham keep him?
Yes.
Keep him another year?
Odds on, no, they can't. No, odds on, he's gone.
So how does that affect Son and Lucas Moura and the likes?
The next first coach should be smart, forward, and just clean house and rebuild your side. Euros, World Cup qualifiers, Gold Cup, all of these tournaments are playing right now. The talents will be out there on display where you can build a side from it. Go out there, cash in on these players, and rebuild a side. You have it. Dyer, all of them gone. All the person that keep is probably Ndombele and the keeper. After that, everybody else gone.
As it pertains to Chelsea, you don't. I know a lot that Camon is one big Chelsea fan that's really advocating for Harry Kane to join the Chelsea bus.
I know FIFA. This is not PlayStation, come on.
They desperately need of a striker,
but they are not going to strengthen their rivals. They're not. It's not a Manchester United when them send Tevez to Man City. So it's very rare you see players like Robin van Persie when him leave Arsenal go Manchester United. Those things are rare. Very rare. I cannot see Harry Kane leaving Tottenham, putting a big hole in Tottenham side and go full a big hole in a teams that are above your old team. It just doesn't work like that.
Well, interesting to see. But Harry Kane finished the league with Golden Boot winner and also led the league in assists, right? Did he? Yeah. He also led the league in assists. Yeah. Another major news that was announced in the middle of the week: Nuno Espirito is leaving Wolves at the end of the season. Huge loss. Where does Wolves go in and does Tottenham go in and try to get Nuno?
I would, and we had that discussion in our private chat, and I honestly think he's a fit there. Now you made the argument, I don't want to kill the argument, but you made the argument that Nuno is not a cup winner, and my answer to that argument is, well, Tottenham isn't a cup winner either. So both of them can go and learn to be a cup winner, right?
Well, both of them can just end up being crap, just like them on Pochettino, not winning any cups.
Well, you know what? At least you're not making any step back like Jose.
Okay.
Right? So I don't know. I would go for Nuno. I would.
Yeah.
I even kick the tires on Wenger. I see what Wenger got going on.
Yeah, Nuno moving on. And let's see if Nuno just takes a break. But he's done an immaculate job with that Wolves outfit. Players that are moving.
BM is saying, imagine Mbappe and Harry Kane at Real Madrid. It can happen.
That's just too much money, Junior BM. That is too much money. Where's financial fair play? And what do you do with Hazard?
Yo, you just put up a Hazard sign. But them must a Super League still a play, you know.
Other players moving on. Gini Wijnaldum wrapping up his Liverpool career, according to most reports. Gini Wijnaldum is on his way out. Quickly, Junior, assessment on this player. Where do you think he ends up? Barcelona seems to be interested or was interested, or should Bayern Munich go for it and try to get Gini?
It depends on who is coaching at Barcelona next season. If it's still Ronald Koeman, well,
yes,
welcome Gini.
Yeah, Ronald Koeman. We'll get to Barcelona here in a quickly. Another player wrapping up is Sergio Aguero. Moving on, apparently he has addressed our agreed terms with Barcelona, but it was an immaculate, very, very exceptional time with Sergio Aguero and Man City's career, right, Junior?
Yeah.
True baller who've done well. Scored 2 goals today in the Marlin against Everton. Wes Morgan, Captain Morgan, announced his retirement. Junior, lift the Premier League for Leicester City and also lift the FA Cup. Captain Morgan, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that for Captain Morgan.
Yo, the man sign off the right way. And the man sign out
Yes.
without being tagged with the Leicester failure to go Champions League. What
Yeah.
a perfect way for end your career, you want. Just serious bullet.
Yeah, so big up to Captain Morgan and Wes Morgan wrapping his career. A player that should get let go and find somewhere to go play is this tweet out from Aped and after Joe said 242 days, Leicester City ended more days in the Premier League's top four than any other side this season, and yet failed to finish inside the top four places. Unlucky. And Jeff replied with the image of Amarty after defeating Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Amarty took the Chelsea colors and tossed them in the locker room. And Jeff is showing that, look, you toss the Champions League just as you toss the Chelsea colors, the Chelsea flag. Amarty was pretty much a bench warmer who ran off his mouth and pretty much ignited this Chelsea team to beat them in the middle of the week.
Nah, they were going to lose regardless. Big up Ep37 said, go for Nuno so he can bring Jimenez. And Liverpool should have given him a renewed contract, talking about Gino.
Never. So, and who should go for Nuno?
Tottenham.
Oh, okay. So, but Amarty, central midfielder, should be out at Leicester City, right? Well, I won't go too far and said useless, June.
Nah.
It's the loudest bench warmer that I'm familiar with. So Amarty and Leicester City out of the Champions League. Before we step over to La Liga and quickly get to the man himself, Mr. Suarez, he says, what really bothered me was when they told me that I was old and I could no longer play at the high level. That's what I did. I did not. Barcelona have a history of doing this. They have a history. They did the same thing with David Villa. They did the same thing with Samuel Eto'o when they let him go to Inter Milan. Inter Milan turned around and defeating Barcelona on the way to winning the Champions League. Junior, your thoughts on Luis Suarez's immaculate year? I mean, he scored at the death yesterday. You can't take anything away from him.
You know, and our football family, just understand where I'm coming from. Barcelona did nothing wrong getting rid of Luis Suarez. Barcelona should have gotten rid of Luis Suarez and should have gotten rid of Messi. Retool. Now, Benton is laughing because he's a Messi, you know? But it is what it is. I can go back in history. I am a Manchester United fan. I can go through a list of players that Alex Ferguson ruthlessly got rid of when he thought that they weren't playing at a high enough level. Barcelona did that. Sometimes it come back and bite you. It is what it is, but that still doesn't affect Barcelona. It's not like if Luis Suarez, it's not like we were sitting on here and realistically say, well, you know, if Luis Suarez was playing for Barca will have win the title this year. Foolishness.
They let go 21 goals. He scored 21 goals. The bugs they have at Barcelona right now, Antoine Griezmann. I mean, one of the sad things that happened throughout the season was the injury to Ansu Fati. Antoine Griezmann is a bug. Ousmane Dembele is a bug. So they could not combine to give you the goals. In fact, how many goals did Griezmann score throughout the year on his huge throughout the season on his huge transfer? So how many?
I can't remember one.
You know. So, but it's big up to Luis Suarez for winning. Cholo, 2 La Liga titles, 2 Europa Leagues, 2 Super Leagues, Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey, 8 trophies in his years at Atletico Madrid. Mm-hmm. I mean, and the season before he got there, Junior, they finished 7th or 9th, and he's really changed them into a perennial Champions League team. Your thoughts on the work that Cholo is doing with Atletico?
That he's what? He's done with Atletico?
No, your thoughts on the job he's doing with Atletico. I mean, Chola is a very
He's a
tired.
great job. He's doing a great job. What more do what if I was Chola Blesser, what more do you want from me?
But Chola is on the record as saying that he would like to manage Inter Milan one day. And we don't know what will happen with Conte and Inter Milan in the off-season. Conte, they won the Scudetto, but Conte and the board does have a very fractious or contentious relationship.
Now is not the time to try to strike any iron over Inter Milan. Inter Milan stocks are at its highest.
Yeah.
Make Inter Milan stay where it is. Cholo, you have the perfect situation. You have the ideal situation. You have an infrastructure in place where you will continuously finish in the top three. Until Inter Milan, because you know they're going to make their dip. Until that happens, just maintain Atletico Madrid and they will come calling.
Yeah. Atletico Madrid, champions of La Liga, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Sevilla. That's how we run out the top four. The questions about what happens to Barcelona now begins. Lionel Messi was given the day off, early vacation, as he did not play in the game against Eibar. There's reports that they already, Fabrizio Romano saying that they already agreed to terms with Sergio Aguero. Memphis Depay, formerly of Manchester United and of Lyon, currently of Lyon, is saying that, he's working on a deal with Barcelona through his lawyers. What happens to Barcelona? And is all these transfer of Depay, potentially, and Aguero, is to keep Messi happy? Take your time, Junior.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's delaying the inevitable. It's delaying at some point. Barcelona fundamentally has to go and do a rebuild. At some point, they have to turn to the kids from La Masia and the academy players. But there's this yearning desire to keep Messi, and I expect them to do whatever hell and high water to keep him, and he will make his decision in the next 2 weeks. Whatever Messi decides, then Barcelona then will decide from there how they go about the season.
We will see. El saying Barcelona need defenders, and that is true. BM is hold on. We'll go through this real quick. Ben.
Yeah.
El Pistolero says Coman should have get fired just because he let go Suarez, and he was the reason Atletico won the title. BM said Suarez gets his revenge. I love it. He said Junior Alex Ferguson mainly got rid of star players mainly because of indiscipline, not necessarily because of age. We can agree if we disagree, but a lot of the players that he got rid of, they were up there in age. Yes, some of them that kind of brash that could have been what was put in the media. Blood Bottle says go Atletico. BM said Alex Ferguson didn't like players challenging his authority. That's true. Respect BM. Blood Bottle said go Atletico better than Real. He also said go Eibar. I think Eibar will win. And then Sancho is saying my favorite team are the Packers. Go Packers. Big up to all the people that are watching on Twitch right now. Okay, Ballchat there for every streaming network, so we're on Twitch now, and it looks like we're having an NFL conversation on Twitch. So we'll pick up that.
Actually, Barcelona defeated Eibar already, so the season's done. Getting Champions League final, Junior. Before we get to Yard Ballers, let's get before we go to Champions League preview and Europa League preview quickly. The Scudetto finish, Junior. Juventus snuck into the Champions League. Your thoughts on, does Pirlo holds on to his job?
No, not really. Is there a better coach out there? That's the question. Is there and what would Ronaldo do? I don't think Pirlo holding on to his job has anything to do with the result today. I think whatever decision is going to be made on Pirlo has already been made.
Yeah.
I was a betting man. I would say Pirlo holds on to his job only if Ronaldo stays at Juventus.
Only if Ronaldo stays. AC Milan finished second. Atalanta finished and Juventus finished tied on points, but Atalanta won ahead of them in a tiebreaker. Napoli lost, fell out of the Champions League spot. They drew with Verona. Junior, Napoli and Gattuso looked so labored in that game against Verona, knowing that they wanted to win. They needed those 3 points. What your thoughts on the lack of intensity demonstrated by Napoli in a must-win game against Verona? It just wasn't reflective of the Gattuso mentality, a player that he was, just a pit bull, always fighting as a coach. And as a coach, that's normally what he embodies with his team. Napoli just wet the bed today.
Yeah, it's just that simple. The man just wet the bed. They had bomolitis. It is what it is. They just wet the bed. What else can we say? You know?
Yeah. What else can we say? All right. Let's get the quick thoughts on the Europa League and the Champions League. End of season competition games in European football. Europa League takes place middle of the week. Villarreal versus Manchester United. Junior, you're the Manchester United fan. Early thoughts, or not early thoughts, but your prediction and key factors in this game, key players for you guys to try to win this Europa League title.
I think Man U wins, and I think the key. I don't think Villarreal has any say in how this game is going to turn out. I think
madness.
No,
absolutely madness.
Seriously. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really has the pulse of his team, it might be one of the most boring UEFA finals game ever. It might be 3-4, even 5-1. And it's not overconfidence on my part. It's just the difference in quality is clear. And if my impression of what Manchester United is now under Ole is accurate, I think this is going to be a springboard into next season where a lot of people will stop and take notice of Manchester United. I really don't see Villarreal affecting the outcome. I think at the end, if Manchester United lose, it might be off some dumb mistake by Ole.
Yeah, brave. But even that, with the big manager himself, the Europa League manager at the helm for Villarreal, Unai Emery, they have Carlos Bacca, Danny Perrejo, Trefigueros, some players, some game changers in that team. But you think that it's a foregone conclusion for Manchester United?
No, that's the thing. I don't think it's not a foregone. I'm not saying Man U going away. But on paper, Manchester United is a better team. I think the difference is going to be, has Ole matured as a coach? All this maturity that we have seen over time. I remember Ole makes some stupid mistakes, in winnable games. This game is a winnable game for Manchester United. It don't make any sense to break down X's and O's. This game is a winnable game. Now, Carlos Bacca and company might come out and have a great game and beat Manchester United, and next week, una laugh after me. It is what it is. That's football. The ball road. But on paper, Manchester United should not lose to Villarreal. And if Ole, I must say it again, if Ole has the pulse of his team, they can come out and easily be up 3-0 in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that the game is not played on paper, Junior. It's a tough game, but I understand what you're saying. It's a final, Europa League final, midweek. I expect Manchester United to win this game, but I expect a close encounter. I do expect Villarreal, Unai Emery, knowing tactically to be able to outsmart Mr. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there at Manchester United. But of course, the issue, the concern for Villarreal is that speed of Marcus Rashford and the likes, and of course the lethal force of one Miss Edson Cavani. So I do expect Manchester United to win this game. I do expect them to win this game.
Bet that.
Yeah.
Let me go to a commentary real quick. Ep37 says, as for Prime Minister says, Pirlo experiment has failed. Cut the card. Ep37 says, as for Champions League, Man City will not let this go. Tuchel seems to be coming back down to earth with the performance and results they're getting from the other day. Careful of Villarreal because Emery is a tricky guy when it comes to Europa. He's king of that cup. And then you reply to say El need an entire squad. Cut it clean, cut it out. I think it's about Barca. He also said, replying to they have promising young midfielders, so I really believe they need back a pure type of defender. Talking about what? Anyway, El Pistolero says, remember Junior, no Maguire. And I don't know how true this is, but somebody said the name Fabrizio Romano saying Sergio Aguero to Barcelona. Here we go. You know what? I saw some Ballchat take off though when carbon copy Fabrizio Romano is logging out to Ballchat and telling us news that we know about for last month.
If this is the real Fabrizio Romano, give us a wave. Give us a wave. But Fabrizio Romano definitely has a pulse. And if this is the carbon Fabrizio Romano, he definitely has it accurate in terms of Barcelona moving on Aguero.
He said, I am Fabrizio's son. So let's assume it's true. Big up to Fabrizio Romano's son. Big up.
All right, let's move on to the Champions League final. So you have Manchester United beaten. I think we both agree that Manchester United will win this game against Villarreal. But I will go out on a limb and said I wouldn't be surprised if Unai Emery pull one out the bag.
I wouldn't be either.
You wouldn't be either. All right, Champions League final, big game. Man City, Chelsea. Tuchel says after the loss today against Aston Villa, to paraphrase, he says a young team. Now they will relax for a couple of days, or today they'll put their feet up, and then they go to Porto with a lot of confidence. Junior, it seems like Tuchel is a man he's defeated Pep in the last two encounters. Surely Chelsea goes to Porto with a huge shot to win the Champions League.
Of course.
Okay, and how does Chelsea go about doing that then, Mr. Of course?
Well, it all starts with kicking down Kevin De Bruyne a couple times.
Is N'Golo Kante available?
That is the big question. Now we're talking the big question, but it's going to take some luck. But let me tell you something. It's a Man City. Manchester City, prior to this year, the knock against Manchester City was always they need the ideal condition to play winning football, right? This year, they seem to have figured out how to win in less than ideal condition. I'm not talking about weather. I'm talking about just you having the ability to play your type of football. Everybody know that. If Man City can play their type of football, they are unbeatable, right? But teams that have been successful against Man City in the past have been able to attack them at their weaknesses and also push them back and let them do what they don't necessarily want to do. But this year, Man City seem to be flexible enough to where if you want to play a scrappy game, I can scrap with you. If you want to play a possession game, obviously I can play possession football with you. But if you want to pick us back and make us try to beat you on the counter, we have no problems doing that. So I go around and say all this to say Tuchel's ability to attack a team at their weakness is Chelsea's one chance of winning. But Man City seems to be balanced enough to where they can withstand that. And I think that is where the game is ultimately going to be found is, can Chelsea make Man City be uncomfortable? Then them can get a win. Because I think on hustle, I think Chelsea is a more balanced team. I do. But Man City just seem to be that team of destiny. So let's see who wins.
Does N'Golo Kante see some minutes in this game, even if he's not 100%? Even to entertain this idea of, take some pain medicine, N'Gola. Let's put some dirt on it and let's get you out there to let the City midfield know that he's going to be available, because to let them look at something differently.
No, because if he's hurt, Tuchel doesn't strike me like the time. Remember, Tuchel take off Hudson and die.
Yeah, but Hudson Odoi is not Kante. If you saw if you saw Chelsea today, Junior, against Aston Villa, that midfield was absolutely pathetic without N'Golo Kante. Mateo Kovacic looked lost. Jorginho was just out of. N'Golo Kante gives that midfield the ability to really kind of just relax and play football.
Yeah, but then against Man City, will Chelsea be required to play football? No. They're going to be required to bunker down, play your position, hold your role, and then spring on the counter attack, limiting what Kante does best, right? For Kante is at his best when the game is stretched, both teams are going up and down the field, and he can marshal the midfield. If Tuchel come out and play 3-5-2 and drop Jorginho and I don't know, whoever, just call a name and tell them, say, you are both holding midfielders, that is wasting a space with Kante. So if Kante is hurt, I can honestly see Tuchel stuck in the midfield, right? And make two players play as one Kante. And then hope they can spring Pulisic, hope them can spring Werner, hope them can spring Mount. Because this is a game that is tailor-made for Werner to come out and score.
Oh, Junior, no, you cannot be tailor-made for a bug. As it relates to Kante, Tuchel says, I don't know yet when asked about his injury and relating to playing out the remaining games of the season. He says, quote, we will check them tomorrow, as in today, and have a good feeling with Kante. He said he felt something but didn't want to risk muscle injury. So I hope for Sunday with Kai, it is the same. That was his comment at the presser, the pre-match press conference. So they were hoping for him on Sunday, as in the game today against Aston Villa. But he did not see any minutes. So the ultimate thing is to just give him more time to kind of nurse an injury, knowing that they have this huge game on Saturday against champions, the champions of the EPL.
Yeah, I agree. But if he's not 100%, he's not going to play. Ep37 is saying that he thinks that he's going to see minutes but not finish the game. I don't think, if he cannot play 90 minutes, he's not playing. It's a Champions League final. It's not two legs. It's not the first leg of a two-leg game. If you cannot play the whole game, all right, why would I enter a game with only two subs? If you know one of them is already gone, why am I entering a game with only two subs available?
Yeah, I think in the Champions League final, correct me if I'm wrong, and we can check this, in the Champions League, they've been able to make more than 3 subs throughout the season.
It doesn't matter how much subs they can make.
Yeah.
They could have made 8.
Yeah.
Why am I taking away one of my subs right off the bat?
Right off the bat. Yeah, but it's N'Golo Kante.
It doesn't matter.
In fact, in the game against Villa, it seems like he moved. They were so woeful. It seems like he was moving Reece James into that midfield to help with some of the runs by Jack Grealish and that Villa midfield. So he took off Kovacic, he took off Jorginho. It was just woeful midfield play from Chelsea today. So they need N'Golo Kante to really have a chance, I think, next week against Man City.
Mr. Ep37 says 5 subs, so yes, thanks. So
yeah,
Chelsea is good. So if Kante play, Chelsea will be having 4 subs, while Man City have 5.
Does Pep find a way to mess us up? We know he seems like he's in the zone this year. Does he mess us up, Junior?
Of course he messes up. Of course he messes up.
Well, how could he mess us up? This is on a plane. It's a weakened Chelsea team, a Chelsea team without a recognized goal scorer, and Timo Werner is just not ready. A Chelsea team with who seems like the manager is not comfortably giving Captain America, aka Christian Pulisic, the start from the jump. How does Pep mess this up? A Chelsea team where N'Golo Kante is not 100%.
You want me to tell you how?
Yeah.
He doesn't start Jesus or Aguero.
Oh, so now he goes to a false nine. He has to go with Aguero. Aguero scored 2 goals today.
Doesn't start Jesus or Aguero. He's going to have, and probably Sterling probably not even start. It'll be Mahrez.
No, but Sterling won't see the field at the bench.
It'll be Mahrez. It'll be your boy Foden.
Yeah, Foden, yeah.
And
Kevin De Bruyne. He put Kevin De Bruyne in the number 10 role.
Which will just play into the hands of Chelsea. Because if it's one thing about Chelsea's defense, regardless of who is playing, apart from Thiago Silva, they have some very strong and fast central defenders, right? So you need to have a Statue of Liberty type striker up there. The false nine is not going to make Chelsea uncomfortable. And that is how Pep is going to try.
He has to play Sergio Aguero Jr. He scored 2 goals today.
We will see.
It will be his final game in a Man City shirt. He's the most lethal striker they have on their bench. I mean, you have to play him.
See, Ep37, I wouldn't start them either. Go with the team he has that has been using to the finals. I told you. He's going to start with that false nine, and it is going to burn them. They might still win, but it's going to burn them.
Official prediction for the Champions League final: Chelsea versus Man City next Saturday. Your official prediction, Junior?
I am predicting a 1-1 draw and Chelsea winning on penalties.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Man City. Based on the evidence, the body of work, I think defensively, Man City is in a much better place, as you alluded to earlier, with Ruben Diaz stabilizing that back. You know, Pep has a multitude of options. He can go to a double pivot in midfield with Fernandinho and Rodri. He can go to 4-3-3 and run Fernandinho out there. But what he cannot do is go 4-3-3 and run out Rodri in that base. He cannot do that. But it's Man City's trophy to throw away.
Yeah.
I
agree with you, even though I'm picking Chelsea. I agree with you, but it just feel like we're going to sit down and say, what the hell was Pep thinking? We're going to ask that question. What the hell was Pep thinking?
Yeah. Big Champions League final coming up at end of season in European football competition. Let's wrap up our show with Yard Ballers quickly. Junior, I want to get your thoughts on Jamaican football. Jamaican Premier League start date is set for June 26th to September 26th. As it was announced by, they finally got the green light. Your thoughts, Junior, on the Jamaican Premier League and what's coming down the pipe. And I'll get the rules here for this competition.
I'm happy. I'm happy that Jamaican Premier League is starting, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy for the players because we have heard all the stories about players that having a source of income, can support their family. Football is their way of life.
Yeah.
I'm happy that an agreement has been made, but I worry about the organization. I worry about the delivery of the of the tournament, because in an ideal situation where there are no borders, there are no restrictions, the Jamaican Premier League always run into some problem, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that they won't run into any problem now that they have tighter restrictions on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I really hope for that, 4 months they can get it together and deliver a product on the field and use it as a springboard going into next season. Because I don't think we should really care about the quality of football or care about what we see on the field other than we are seeing something on the field.
Just
start worrying about football next year.
The Premier League starts June 26th to September 26th. 4 venues approved: the Stadium, National Stadium, Sabina Park, Stadium East, the Captain Horace Center is the other 2 stadiums. I mean, I think there is probably some indications that they might use the National Stadium and the Sabina Park. 66 matches in the preliminary round. They'll do a round-robin format. Teams rank 1 through 12 based on points after the preliminary round or the first round. And 1 through and 2 automatically goes to the semifinals. Teams 3 to 6 will play each other in a playoff spots for the other 2 semifinal spots. Teams 7 through 12, based on the first round points ranking, will play each other for next year's ranking in another round robin competition. So that's the format. We haven't seen an official release yet. At least I haven't seen an official release yet from the Premier League regarding the format. Chris Williams spoke about that, the chairman of the Premier League, Jamaica Professional League Association. The coaches, Andrew Price and Ludlow Bernard, have said there's some mixture on it. I think Andrew Price said something to the effect that they're looking forward to more games, and Ludlow was a tad bit reluctant to make. Are you concerned about this excessive games in such short period, Junior?
Of course I'm concerned. I'm concerned for the players because they weren't training before, right? And it's not like them have access to high quality infrastructure where they can get physically fit and get their bodies ready for this role that they're about to go through. Listen, it's been what, a year and a half, almost 2 years for the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I am a Sunday League international midfielder on a Sunday ball field. And last week I went out to go ride my bicycle and I nearly died after 1 mile. Like me nearly dead. Me nearly dropped down dead, like dead. Dead like dog, skin over.
Yeah.
About these players know that.
But supposedly they've been doing virtual practicing, Junior. The man been running and keeping in shape.
I'm gonna tell you something, mental. Virtual practicing equals FIFA. You hear me? I think virtual practice, you play FIFA on PlayStation. And there's no way to replicate that level up. Your muscles have been sitting down and not pushed to the limit that it has been for your whole career for the last 2 years. I know you're trying to jumpstart it and play a condensed schedule. I worry for these players. That's why I'm saying I don't care about the quality of the game. I just want the games to get on and get done and everybody move on. That's what I want. I don't want to hear no crazy injuries. I'm not wishing it on anybody, but you know it's things like these where you hear people tear hamstring, tear groin, tear ACL, tear MCL, because your mind is going where body can't right now.
Yeah. Player safety is paramount for you. And from all of us, player safety is paramount because we understand that these are not robots. These are human beings. The Premier League saying that they will have regular COVID testing, Junior, a weekly COVID testing, and of course there are no fans allowed into the stadium or into any of the facilities. So, I mean, it's a lot, but I'm happy to see them finally come together and agree to start playing some football, and we're looking forward to see more lines roll out and kick up some side.
Yeah, but let's go into these real quick. Ep37 says 2-1 City. Prime Minister saying Chelsea getting box up 3-love. Come on, will be in hiding. Ep37 said, I'm happy too that the local league starting back. Players can now get paid and also ground staff. I hope these games are televised to keep away fans. I heard from a source that the games are going to be played behind closed doors, meaning Stadium Sabina Park, and teams has been training face-to-face. Arnett has been training face-to-face. Yeah, Ep37, the training what I'm going through right now doesn't compare. And again, it's 2 years. You cannot, there's no amount of training. All right, look at it this way. Remember Project Restart in the English Premier League? The quality of football was poor. Remember during Ballchat, every week we come on, used to beat the people in Germany, beat the people in England. The game was horrible for watch, blah, blah, blah. And these are professional, the Jamaican Premier League players are professional as well.
Yes,
but these are high-paid players with gyms in them house, with treadmills and bicycles and this and pool where they can go running up and have an incentive to stay fit because they make millions and millions of dollars. And they still weren't at optimal shape when they came out for Project Restart, which was what, 6, 7, 8 months of no football?
Yeah.
No, we're going to look on some man and say, a year and a half, no football, all we are trained, and we expect to see good quality football, much less unfortunate injuries. We don't want to see unfortunate injuries. It is a scary proposition.
Yeah. Just to remind football fans, Jamaican Premier League starts June 26th through to September 26th. 4 venues approved: National Stadium, Sabina Park, Stadium East, and Captain Burrell Center. No fans allowed into the stand. They probably will use 2. The 2 venues are preferred venues. The other 2 are backup just in case they need to use 4. No fans in the stand. Regular weekly testing for COVID-19 or coronavirus test will be conducted. 6-6 matches in the preliminary round. All the teams will play each other, so it's just going to be 1 round of matches. All the teams will play each other in a round-robin format. Teams rank 1 through 12 after the conclusion of the first round based on points. Teams first and second will make it to the semifinal. Rank first and second make it semifinal. Teams 3 to 6 will play each other in a playoff format for the other 2 semifinal spots. And teams 7 through 12 will play each other for the next year's Premier League ranking. That's the Jamaican Premier League. And as more information comes out about the league, we'll go ahead and get that out to the football family. The kickoff is June 26th, so there's a lot of information, a lot of things to get together. Junior, that's it. We want to wrap up the show and call it a day. We'll try to do a watch along for the Champions League, or a pre-game and a post-match Champions League wrap game for the end of the season. And then we'll get into Jamaica and watch along football and etc. and World Cup qualifiers. Junior, final thoughts on club football in UEFA this year?
Yeah, it was a trying year for everybody, and I will talk for the whole Ballchat family. We want to give all of you guys a shout out that tune in with us every week. I remember, we are one of the only shows that have been on during the pandemic religiously every Sunday. And when the footballer play, we come on and chat foolishness, right? And to see the year turn out the way it did, exciting finishes, exciting races on either ends of the table. Hats off to the players, hats off to everybody out there that make football fun and help us to really enjoy with Sunday evening, Saturday evening. Saturdays and Sundays have been great, even during these trying times. Except for Arsenal fan them, Tuesday and Wednesdays have been great too. But the Arsenal fan them now get Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday next year. So I have to give them a last little shot. But it was a fun year, Benton, and the players them, you know what? I got so used to no fans in the stands. You know how great it is to hear fans shouting in the stands when a goal score?
Yes. It was
take
good
away from it this year is that the pandemic has brought us closer to our friends and families in our personal lives. But it also shows us what we have in football. Because we get to experience no football with the pandemic, football affected by the pandemic, and we get a glimpse of what football was like before the pandemic, and I have a greater appreciation for what football was like before the pandemic. And next year will only be greater for football, greater for Ballchat. We're working on a lot of things, and what you say?
Yeah, football family. Echoing the sentiments. And just to big up Junior and big up the rest of the football family. And Junior will love this. Only one player in history has finished top scorer in the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A. Junior, you close it out with your boy. Say the name, Junior.
The gunman himself, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo, and next year he's going to finish the Portuguese league as top scorer 4 years in a row. Top scorer.
Football family, thank you for joining us. Look out for the watch-alongs coming up. Look out for the pre-game and post-game wrap show coming up as we now switch to more interactive show. You can connect with us on Instagram at Ballchat Podcast. We're on Twitter at Ballchat1. We're on Facebook at Ballchat. Email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Football family, it's been a great, like Junior said, we thank all the players, all the fans. We love this game, love each other. Big up yourself, football family. Yo, stay safe out the road, family. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
I promise you, but when the new season starts, I'm going to be down about 80 pounds. Go up on my bicycle.
Bless